On stage and was like, they
What?
came, they came on stage and was like, we getting the Doppler is saying that there's a bad lightning storm with hail heading this way. So they basically took everybody off the stage, made all the people leave out the tent, and we all had to go like where they took the artists, us, inside the back of the Pritzker stage. They got like a eating area, cafeteria area back there. So
Yeah.
they took us back there, but they made all the people go underneath the tunnel that's underneath Millennium Park,
Okay.
where you can walk to the parking garage and all of that shit. So they
Yeah.
they put all the people there or whatever. So like I said, we played our first 7 minutes and that was it. It was the best 7 minute show I ever played.
And you got
But
paid for it,
however,
so.
yeah, however, Nick was, a little pissed off because he really, we just got in it. You know what I mean? Just getting lighting that fire, ready to go, and shit happened like that. But then after that, right after that, after the rain stopped and they started the show back, I had to play with Sonya Stachio.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma,
Yeah,
are you just waking up, nigga?
no, yeah,
What the fuck is this
What
background
is
picture?
you doing in your background?
y'all see me?
What the fuck? Is
What
that
is
from the
you?
is that from the cruise?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You still learning how to play with Zoom, Grandma?
Mm-hmm.
I just trying to make sure y'all don't see my house.
Grandma, nobody is looking at your house behind the scenes. I need you to come
But
up with different.
that that's some shit a grandma would say though. Truly.
That's real. Grandma, how was your plan this weekend?
Huh?
How was your plan schedule this weekend?
It was cool. I only played Thursday and Sunday. Did I play Saturday?
Yeah. Play blues that Saturday.
You don't even know.
Goddamn shame. I know your schedule better than you.
That's really bad. That's real bad.
Mm,
It was
mm,
that long of a weekend, Grandma? The hell?
I guess I was just trying to get through shit.
Uh-uh. Bless your heart. Oh, bless your heart. Seriously. How's y'all Monday going?
Like
It's going for me.
pronouns.
You was killing me with these pronoun stuff. I will tell you why you keep going on and off screen. Stop playing with your phone. Just stop playing with your phone. Just stop playing with your phone.
Nah, it do that when you talk. It switch screens when you talk.
It
Right.
does, but he just turned his screen off and then he muted his phone. Stop playing with Zoom before you mess it up altogether. Like a little damn kid. Seriously.
And mad good.
uh Anyway, okay, let's get into the conversation because I know y'all got other shit to do. And grandma, wake all the way up. Seriously.
You ain't want nobody see your house there or your hair, huh? This nigga got a park district hat on. Like they not seeing my house or my hair. I
Uh
feel that.
shit. You gotta get your hair did.
Gotta get her done.
Oh
See?
my god. Anyway, okay. And grandma, we talked about this the other day. Been keeping up with the stuff on Facebook, all the craziness at the different clubs and all that shit. What's the latest with Lee's what is it? Lee's Unleaded?
Mm-hmm. Blues.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
I
your
guess I
thoughts
could.
on that? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it just I guess I'll start first. It just goes to show you that there are people in the world who respect our craft, and then there are people in the world who monetize off our craft. You know what I'm saying? And for the people that respect it, they already understand that if you booking shows or you booking bands or whatever, and the criteria in that situation should be you hire them, pay them, give them a deposit so everything can be legitimate. You know what I mean? Legitimized that way. That paying a deposit sends a signal to the band, says, "Oh, you really want me here," and you're closing out the deal to make sure that I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's all we really have. We don't have a lot of situations are not contract, as we went over things like that in previous conversations. Just that alone. You know what I mean? But for the most part, 80% of the time it's word of mouth or through a text message. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like you come across these club owners in these situations as to where people want the highest caliber of musicians to be playing in a club, so they can attract the crowds and attract business to bring into their establishment so they can make money. However, that's all fine and dandy, but if you're not working with that that team or those musicians in a way that shows them, like, hey, I'm out to make money, but I also understand that you also have to make money as well. And you got to find a common ground in a situation like that. And so oftentimes what happens is, these people with those mentalities, and I'm talking about those club owners who think they can just book these people, promise them a price, then when they get there, you don't have all the money. You know what I mean? And now I guess you think it's supposed to be fine and dandy, or it's not supposed to be any gripe behind all of that, which is going to be. So that's pretty much what's happening at Lee's. This guy, he booking people. He want people to come in. And I understand it. I really understand it, because Lee's is the South Side club. You know what I mean? And those who work on this scene know that going south, the money gonna get different. Going north, the money gonna be different. You know what I mean? Going south, situations gonna be different. The agreements are gonna be different. Going north, they're gonna be different. So with that being said, you got, a lot of times they don't understand on how to just simply talk to these people that they're trying to hire and say, listen, I ain't got this going on like that. I ain't got enough like this. But if you will work with me and help me build this over time, you know what I mean? When I get to that point, you know what I mean? Whatever your number is, I can try to meet that, and we can, find a common ground in that. And I'm sure there are bands or there are people who will be willing to work with something like that. But you got to come out the gate saying that. You know what I mean? You can't have hidden intentions and think you're just going to do what you're trying to do and ain't nobody going to recognize it. And that's what happened. You know what I mean? You paid certain people to come in there a certain amount. Then you had another band who may not been on the same level as that person, but they not too far away. You know what I'm saying? And you tell them an amount that they expecting to get from you when they get there and they do the job. Now you handle them something shorter than what was agreed upon.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to always draw problems, especially here in Chicago. Can't really speak about many other scenes because I don't live there. Ain't never played in those scenes outside of just, coming into town or whatever the case is with that. But being here naturally, that's not going to work in by anybody's book. So it created an uproar, and they just so happened to come across a person who wasn't afraid to put it out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody ain't gonna keep everything on the hush. Some people gonna let it be known what's going on, because why? We all got to look out for each other. This is a business we all work in. So if you do to one, you will do to all. And at some point, and I'm glad that it happened this way, we as musicians got to put a stop to that type of shit. Because if we don't, we're going to pay the ultimate price of not, getting the funds and the means of stability and finances that we need to go forth and doing what we're doing. We already shorted as it is. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's already, we already working just a certain amount of days because that's all that's available. You know what I mean? If a lot of the situations with these clubs are not the same. Pre-COVID, we had tons of places open. Now it's not so many. So the list is even shorter than what it was, and the work is also shorter. Now, if you're a person that's on the scene, you in the mix all the time, you may not feel that pressure 100%, but it's still felt. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we all trying to do what we can do to just stay above water. And if you a club owner and if you threatening that with your bad business tactics, then guess what? We're not going to sit there and take that hit. You're going to take that hit because at the end of the day, we still got to do this. You just one club.
Mm-hmm.
And all you doing is Xing yourself out for people like us to work with you.
Okay.
So that's my take on that.
Okay. Grandma, Deontay, what's your take? Because you always got a side view and different perspective to shit. So what's your take on this? Wake up!
I'm woke. I from what I heard, it was an art that was there that played, and I guess for whatever reason she started late. She was upset about it, and for whatever reason she ended her set 30 minutes early. So they shorted her $100. So in my mind, when you doing business like that, as musicians, we can't. I mean, we run into stuff all the time where we gotta change times and stuff, but I don't feel like uh the person that put all the info out on Facebook, I heard that person was upset with the club anyway for being charged a cover charge when he would come through on nights that he wasn't playing. So it's kind of a lot of I mean, in my eyes, for the artist that ended her set early, you should have got docked $100. If they had you start late, so what? I get if they was asking you to play later, that's a whole different story. They just wanted you to end your set when at the same time. So you was in the wrong. So I don't understand how everybody rioting and so big on this, but they'll go play like how Jay said, Lee's is a South Side club.
Right.
And I think if I ain't mistaken, black managed. So it baffles me sometimes how, especially black musicians, these the same niggas that was running up north to play blues on hosters for $50 a person.
$50.
And now y'all got something in y'all community that we trying to build in that. As soon as they fuck up one time, everybody fucking wanna, put them down and shit. Like, I don't know. I'm like a little indifferent. I don't be in Lee's a lot, so I'm like,
We had that conversation about Lee's anyway. You was like, I'm here for the peace.
they. I mean, it's in the hood.
Right.
It's definitely in the hood. I mean, but like I said, and then some of the artists just, for me, me, I ain't gonna sugarcoat too much. Some of the artists that they have playing there, I mean, half of y'all don't even bring a crowd. Y'all just, oh yeah, we playing music down there. Yeah, y'all invite people out, but y'all really ain't that good where y'all bringing no crowd, where people coming in there spending money and shit. Like,
Right.
so I mean, hey, to each his own. I don't think I really like how everybody came together on the situation to be like, oh, we not playing there until they get stuff right, but do it when we in the right, not when you upset about, oh, you ain't get to start your set on time. So now you just they ain't got no people in here, so now you gonna end on time. Nah, that don't work like that. It's been times that blues, you done sat there and played till 1 o'clock in the morning to two motherfuckers. And now you mad about this shit? Like
Right.
do that shit to them white folks too.
Right.
Don't do that shit to us. And that'd be my thing, the whole y'all want to try the shit with niggas. And then even the person that that was upset about him being charged a cover charge when he came in there on his nights off because he play in there. Is you here for the support of the music or not? Like $5 ain't shit. Like you can stand outside and listen to this shit. You can hear the shit from the back door. That's all you wanted to do was listen. I mean, everybody got their view about it. Me personally, that's how I feel about it. They just gotta.
So I do like the part, like you said, that it brought everybody together around the unison of it and support it. And then when I was reading through the comment, the statement from the establishment, and they were like, we're gonna start having contracts and all of that stuff. So it puts the business perspective into, we're about to legitimize ourselves in that aspect. I believe, from my understanding, that it's managed by Black folks, because I know Jacob does it as the talent agent, but it's owned by an Italian guy, I believe so. And I'll retract that if I'm mistaken. But I do agree with you in terms of when it comes to us on the South Side, because it's mostly us on that setup doing things. We handle things differently as opposed to it is on the North Side.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Go
do
ahead.
that shit, do that same shit, act the same way when you get that downtown corporate gig that told you, oh, our event, they come to you nice than a motherfucker. Oh, our event is running over. Do you guys think you can stay an extra hour? They be like, yeah, then come back to the musicians, be like, they want us to stay an hour. But in your mind, you like, shit, I need my check. So you ain't did none of that shit. But these people that they trying to work with, you ain't brought no crowd in here, and you like, I need my money. Come on, man. Like, y'all fighting the wrong battles.
Yeah. J-Mo, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, getting more of an inside scoop because he got information I ain't hear shit about. You know what I mean? All I was able to see.
Always
I
having
don't know how bro got some kind of radar or something connected to everything that nobody else
all
knows
the
about.
time.
Because this nigga, like, I talk to him all the goddamn time. We ain't never had this conversation. He ain't never told me this shit. So for him to have this information, I'm sitting here like, damn. Like, now I feel idiotic, kind of, because I'm sitting here saying what I'm saying, thinking that these people are in the right, not knowing the full story.
Right.
However, learning that information, he's 1,000% right.
Right.
What we doing? Because not knowing that information, you know what I'm saying? I'm only making a synopsis based off
the information you
how
got.
things go. You know what I'm saying? And based on what was put out. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't the type of nosy nigga who finna, hey man, what? Nah, I ain't that guy. You know what I mean? If I hear it, I hear it. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? I ain't finna really try to dig too much into it, because at the end of the day, not being funny, but that's not my battle. You know what I mean? It's not my situation. So to just indulge in somebody else's situation, that's just something that's a little bit far-fetched for me to be doing. But at the end of the day, he's 1,000% right. We putting bad stigma and karma on ourselves, moving in that direction and in that light. If you're not going, like he said, same type of people playing at some of these other spots up north that was only paying $50 for the night for 3 sets. You know what I'm saying? 3 motherfucking sets.
Wait a minute, $50 for 3 sets?
3 motherfucking sets.
From 9
so
to 30.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, you gotta make it make sense. Yeah. You were willing to go over and beyond for those people, but here it is. And then the thing about it is, it's not Black owned, it's Black managed.
Right.
That's the thing about it. It's not Black owned, it's Black managed. So it's almost like, as soon as we see our people in a situation where it look like they got a little bit of power, and then some shit go wrong, now we just want to ridicule them, hang them out to dry, when at the end of the day, we need to be uplifting each other. You know what I'm saying? And if that man over there having trouble trying to just make everything work the right way because they just got back open, You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing. Like when it was closed, everybody was like, man, they need to open Leeds back up. They need to open it up back up, man. Why they close the spot? Now the spot back open, and now motherfuckers wanna basically
Strike. Go
look,
on strike.
they drinks ain't shit. They this, they that. They shut the fuck up. Is
because
you gonna make it better?
if you go up north, they not finna you definitely finna pay their prices on drinks.
Yeah.
You go to the hood spot, that you go to the spot, I'm sure them drinks ain't that goddamn much higher, or even probably not even in the same range as what they would charge you up north. So the thing about it, like he said, you like these people tripping, and you ain't bringing no following in there. You ain't bringing nothing in there to help build the business. You just coming to play so you can make some money.
Right.
At the end of the day, nah, it's got to be hand in hand.
And
Again,
then
ideas.
even the surcharge and stuff is not $5.
$5.
What we tripping over? Because if you go into Kingston Mines right now on a Saturday night, it's about $25 to $30, $20 a head.
Yes.
They
Yes.
charge
And you still got to pay for drinks.
Yes. Yeah.
What you say, D?
They charging get in the club prices.
Exactly.
Like club. God damn,
That's wild. That is wild. So okay, so the people that Deontay that you mentioned that's performing and doing all this other stuff, and you talking about their caliber of music and their showmanship is not on the level of what's out there and all that. So why are they making all the noise?
you know what? I don't know. That's a whole other thing too, because the person just really popped up like a side effect of COVID. I was on the scene before COVID,
Shut
and
up.
then this
Shut
person didn't know who they was at all. Then all of a sudden, they was just always out here. So I don't know. I don't know why people making a big deal out of. And then, like I said, this, you know how people talk. People say, different stuff. So look, I just know it messed the gig up for me.
Yeah, definitely cancel the date we had for real, for real.
That's what it came. That's what
Brother,
it put down to, Grandma.
I'm sorry, bro. We was brother Jacob. We was ready to hold you down, bro. Sorry, bro. It ain't our fault.
Oh my God. That's crazy. That is crazy. So the person that was out here, so the drummer guy, is he a regular in the scene or no?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he got some decent accolades. He cool.
Okay.
He
And
Do I think it was that serious for him to say something? Especially when, from like I said, from my understanding, the situation didn't actually happen to him.
mhm.
But you, I don't know, man. The way it was put to me, like I said, the lady, she ended us set early for whatever reason, and I've been in there when they had to, they told us, start at 8 o'clock. We walk in, they throwing a party, and we can't start the 9. I'm cool with that.
Right.
But I'm gonna end at 12 when y'all told me to. Anything other than I ain't trying to hear, oh well, y'all started an hour late. Can y'all end at 1 o'clock? Hell no. But I'm also not gonna end my own set early because now I feel like, well, all the people was in here at 8 o'clock and I should have been started at 8 o'clock. I mean, you can fight and say, oh, if I would have started at 8 o'clock, I could have kept them in here. I mean, I get that too, but that still don't give you the right to say, all right, I'm gonna end my set 30 minutes early because ain't nobody here. Like
Right.
let them say that. Let them say, hey, look, ain't nobody here.
Y'all
Y'all can
shut it down.
let out early. Yeah.
So do you think that it brought a conversation to the forefront that was needed to be had? Would you say that that was one of the good perspectives of all of this?
Only thing that I do see that it did was as far as leads, it's just teaching them how to uh uh how to handle business a little bit different, because they talking about they gonna have these contracts and stuff, which is cool, but I mean, that's a club. At the end of the day, they don't have your money. First of all, half these musicians out here ain't even got enough money to go sue nobody on no small claim shit. For like, let's be for real. So y'all talk, this just gonna make it worse. Like, so y'all really gonna have to be like, look, what? Well, you can't force nobody to pay you. What you gonna go do? Burn the club down? Now you fucking up other people's shit.
Right.
Like right now, the only thing you can do is really work with them. Y'all ain't, trust me, I know half them ain't got no lawyer. Half them can't even read. Talking about signing the
Shut
contract.
up. If you don't shut up.
they, they gotta get. And I ain't trying to be, I ain't trying to be funny, but I don't think they be thinking about this stuff like, I don't know, man. It's sometimes we make shit harder on ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I can then put a little bit based off that last question you said. At the end of the day, these are still some of the same people. Like he was saying, let the club tell you done early.
Right.
We play a spot called Blue Chicago. Okay, start at 9 o'clock. Uh, Friday nights they start at 9 o'clock. You end at 1:30. Saturday nights you start at 9 o'clock. You end at 2:30. The difference is either one of those nights, that last 30, 45 minutes, the club can be completely empty. Matter of fact, I'm finna give you an even better story. I was there maybe a couple of weeks ago, and at about we had just finished the second set, which is heading to the last set, and around that time, it's about I think it's 12 o'clock that we end that set, and then you started back at 12:30. At 12 o'clock, when we ended that set, there was nobody inside the club. Like everybody had dispersed. Like as soon as that last song ended, everybody dispersed. So in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna be an early ass night. Shit, cool. Cause why? I know how they operate. If it ain't that many people in there, they gonna have you play me maybe 3, 4 songs, maybe two, depending on how it's really looking. And then they'll shut it down. Well, this night, like I said, people was out of there at 12 o'clock, 12:30. They called us back up to play with nobody in there. So again, in my mind, everybody man, it's shit. We finna play these two songs. Get out of it. Get out of here. Two people walked in. Two people. Do you think they stopped the show just
Or
because only two people walked in?
y'all
Hell
still
no.
play to 1 o'clock. Hell no, y'all gonna play this full
You
fuck.
gonna play this whole 30 minutes, and we gonna they paid they for it. Two people paid $20 a piece. Oh
Mm-hmm.
no, they gonna get their music. And you got to sit there and play that until your time is actually done. So my thing is, if you can go and if it works like that in other places, what makes you think that you can go and do some other shit like that because some black people is the face of the place? Nah, it's got to be the same thing. And both these people that we talking about work in that particular club as well and abide by those same rules. So that's why I don't understand. Like again, learning that that's what the situation is. That's why I don't understand. Like, damn. Now I'm baffled, like he said, because it's like, damn, over here you wouldn't have pulled that shit because that would have been the contract ender for you
Right.
immediately. As soon as you said, well, I'm done for the night, I ain't finna play these last 30 minutes, ain't nobody in here. Guess what? They would have told you that night, thank you, great doing business with you, thanks for playing and everything, but we won't no longer be needing your services. And that'll be that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play that shit up there. So at the end of the day, you gotta give and take just as much. You gotta give just as much as you take. So that was, to me, that was just a dumb move to make. And then you tried to, going back to your other question, you said why you think they put this out there like that? For me, I think they was clout chasing.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing it this way now, because now you want to get a whole community of people to side with you on a situation where you wrong.
Right.
And then what you want to put it out in the forefront as if though you were right. As if though like that information would have never came out. Nah. Like he said, you fucking it up for everybody else.
And to be
And
honest,
now, like you
a
said,
lot of
huh?
my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm cool. I was done.
Say a lot of really, to be honest, a lot of situations where musicians be like complaining about stuff or be trying to boycott a certain venue. Most of the time, 80-20, they be in the motherfucking wrong. It's something that they didn't get away with, that or that they just be upset about, and it'd be like, bruh, this a different caliber of gig. You ain't finna do the shit that you do in that little hole in the wall on the west side. You're not finna take that shit to the casino and do it. Or
Right.
you know, like it just don't work like that. Shit, you really shouldn't even be doing that shit at the hole in the wall. You just practicing how you goddamn uh
Yeah, you just you really sharpening bad habits. Bad habits.
Right.
That's all.
So is that one aspect of, I know that we've had several conversations about this as well. And Grandma, I know your thoughts on this, but I certainly want to hit you as well with this. And J Ma, I want your thoughts on this. Particularly when we looking at the bad habits of musicians and the bad habits of some of these artists who see some of the elders doing the same stuff, so they think it's like a norm. Do you think that is now at that point where it's needed to be called, these artists need to be called on out on their shit? Do you think that this is what this is elevating for this moment in time?
it's a lot of shit that a lot of artists do that need to be addressed, but we not living in that era no more where people can't nobody take criticism. Everybody gets so defensive about every little thing you say to them. Like, can you not play this? Can you not, or can you, even even if you just thinking about something that you hear, like, hey, can you play this? And motherfucker look at you like, who the fuck is he? He a drummer. Who the fuck is he to tell me how to play my line? Like, just because I'm a drummer don't mean, you don't know what the fuck I'm doing outside of here. I could be a producer too. I could
Right.
be recording CDs. I know a lot of drummers that do producing, that under that can play keyboard, that can play a lot of other instruments, but you don't see them playing out because that's not what they comfortable with. Like, I sing, I just don't like to sing. I don't like being on the stage. That ain't my thing. But you will tell somebody, look, I got a couple of people. You tell them like, hey, you might have been a little pitchy, and they be like looking at you like, who the fuck is you? Like, and then they hear you sing and they be like, oh damn, you can sing. Yeah, I wasn't just telling you no bullshit.
Right.
Like, I was being for real. A lot of people ain't gonna. A lot of people just gonna sit up there and look at you, let you keep going crazy, keep doing the same fucked up shit. Ain't nobody gonna tell them like, nah, they need to switch that up. Nah,
Right.
they killing it. Kill it.
And that's how they tell you. You kill him, man. Sound great. Sound great. Old time. That is not truly what they feel.
Mm-mm. So just because a lot of people don't, take well to the criticism and stuff like that, and even with the situation that's going on, does it mean that folks need to stop saying it? Because you guys know the Chicago scene a little bit better than I do. Has anything ever been put out on this caliber like that? Has it ever been posted to Facebook and stuff like that before?
Oh yeah, it happens more times than you think it does. You know what I mean? It's just a
Yeah,
lot of times it's like this. It's based on who the person is saying and how they're presented to the community and how the community receives them or not. So, there was time, I'll just give you an example. There was times where I got done here wrong. And before I had conversations with people like D and other people I trust, who was like, man, don't put that shit out. Just let it be. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what I'm thinking is, no, put this shit out because people need to know about this type of shit. Need to know about this person, how they move. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, what I had to realize is, people can still find out. I just don't have to broadcast it out in a public setting because I'm not gonna lie. This one of the things I hate when you do decide to broadcast. Is it's almost like you become the aggressor when you
Feeling
was
the
initially
people.
the victim.
Yeah,
You
you
know what
was
I'm saying?
dealing.
Like that was a lot of my situations. I'm speaking up for myself, but because I'm speaking up for myself, everybody got a problem with it because depending on who the person is and whatever caliber they may hold. A person still owe me some money right now. Just saw him the other day. Matter of fact, I was on the stage at the Kingston Mines Friday night playing. They had to play the other side. While I'm playing, they came to before because we played before them. They came over to see who was on the side playing. They knew the artist, but they didn't know all the musicians that was playing with the artist. So they came to see, and they the headliner for the other stage.
Mm-hmm.
Once they saw me on the stage, they came in with a big ass smile. And this is not the first time it happens. I promise to God. I hope one of y'all around the next time it happens so y'all can see it with y'all own two eyes, just like I do. But they
Right.
come over, they stick their head in with a big ass smile, expecting to see some other people. And then they see the person they don't want to see. And that
Right.
smile goes down to a frown, and they go ahead and hurry up and move their ass out the way as to say, I don't want you to see me, knowing that they owe you money.
Right.
But if you broadcast shit like that, everybody gonna be saying stuff like, "Oh man, you shouldn't be, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't broadcast and publicize stuff like this. You speaking against somebody's character. Why not? Why
Right.
can't I do that? If this person deliberately did something in that way, yeah, it wasn't publicized at the same time. You are a person of business who hires people that I know are who I'm friends with or mutual acquaintances with. So at the end of the day, if I got love for you as my homie or my mutual acquaintance, I'm gonna let you know how this person is. So just in case if you ever entangle or come across those, situations with that person, you know exactly what to expect from them. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. Like, yes, I think accountability should be something that's spoken of a lot more.
Right.
When at the same time, you didn't put it out here for me, you know what I'm saying, to even present it to you in that way. There's something you did or caused that made a person feel that they needed to say some shit like that to you. It ain't
Even
just cause.
even then, it's still gonna be some goofy ass motherfucker who they just need the money.
Yeah.
Like with Casey when Casey Lee came around, everybody all of a sudden when COVID came, Casey was like a side effect. He just had all the gigs for some reason. Everybody was going fucking with him, and then all of a sudden he people started finding out how he was, and then nobody want to say nothing. Once I finally said something, everybody was like, "Oh, oh man, damn, that's messed up. Whoa, out the band." But then I look up, and y'all still
They
playing.
on the gig.
Like then y'all on the gig, and I'm like, I thought y'all just agreed with me that Casey was well, I was off. There, you desperate like that for you need the money, and it's
Right.
gonna constantly keep being like that. It's always gonna be somebody else who say,
I need the
"Oh,
money.
they can't do it, I can." They won't do it for 500. I do it for 300. They
Right.
won't do it. It's gonna always be somebody who just fuck shit up and make it hard on us.
When does it come? And this is gonna be my last question for this point. So when does it come to a point? So does it come down to the point that you as an individual, you have to know where you draw your line, what your ethics and values are, and you just keep it moving?
That's exactly what it come down to.
To be honest, yeah, because it's you really can't do nothing but at the end of the day make sure you good.
Right.
Separate
Like,
yourself.
yeah, like I know a lot of people that me and Jay just had this discussion with somebody we played with too. Hey man, look, I know what you paying, but I need this to go there. And that ain't I'm sorry, but if you want me, if you value me and what I do,
Right.
I need this. And shoot, if you want to take somebody else for less money, you feel like they can do the same job, by all means, go. but I'm not devaluing myself for that.
Right. Because I know you guys talked to Dale about there are folks within the community or whatever who are hating on you because you are doing more ventures outside of the Chicago area, outside of the state, outside of the country and stuff like that. And they feel that you guys came in at the same time and they should be where you are, if not further than where you are.
Yeah.
So that's just going to be what it is within the system, correct? That's what your thoughts are?
Favor ain't fair.
Okay, grandma.
He ain't lying though, because a lot of people don't understand with that. Like, they think this shit is just handed out.
Right.
Much work. Deontay, when me and him first met each other and got in cahoots and got cool, one day we was having a conversation and he told me, he was like, man, hey man, what the fuck is with this? You don't want to tour shit because you got a family, so you only do gigs that's basically at home. And I said, nigga, who the fuck told you that? He said, boy, that shit all over the scene. I'm like,
What?
who said I said that?
Like,
Because
people,
please,
that's how they was taking it. J-Mo, every time I ask J-Mo something, he be, oh, let me check with my family first. So I ain't think he can go out of town. I be like, how the fuck y'all just assume that?
That's
because first of
crazy.
all, that was never my those were never my responses ever. I never said let me. Why would I say let me check with my family to go make money for my family? That makes no sense. I've been these last 2-3 years. I've been going on tour Wayne. I was gone this past December. Me and Deontay was gone 37 days,
Right.
but I didn't want to tour because I got a family. That to me, whoever said that, you got to be the dumbest motherfucker ever. Here's why. If I'm into making money for my family and going to tour would put a lot of money in my pocket for my family, why the fuck would I want to be doing? Why wouldn't I want to be doing that when that's going to bring me the most money?
Right.
Or that's going to bring me the biggest lump sum of money? Let me say it like that. No, you niggas said that because y'all was threatened. And I understand. A little nigga, new nigga on the scene, this little nigga hit hard. Hell no, we got to shut that nigga out. I bet he got a family. He can't go nowhere. That's the story, y'all. And they had to get together to say that. And then guess what? That was almost 10 years of my life that sat on me, which I did feel that shit. Here I am struggling to work gigs here when I could be going to do gigs other places just because somebody put this badass room out on me.
Right.
Guess what? Here's why they put it out. I was a nigga that didn't owe child support. I had a passport. I was able to move. I didn't have no jail convictions, no assault, none of that type of shit on my name. Everybody know that. And when they know that about you, guess what? Again, that threatens those who's doing it. Because at the end of the day, it's not a big list when it comes to motherfuckers who can go across them seas. It's
Right.
not a big list.
Right.
We all know that. That list, it's a big ass list home for a bunch of shit. But when it comes to going across that water, that list is not that big.
Right.
So at the end of the day, when motherfuckers learn that about you, because you got to understand there are people in the scene who actively move like that. How can I sabotage? Because I need to be in place. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what they did. And for 10 years on this scene, I've been on this scene since 2011. It's 2025? That's 14 years. Almost 10 years that sat on me. And I never even knew it until I met this man. And then we talked, and he just
Great.
threw it at me one day. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's why there is power in connection. That's why there is power in companionship, friendship, your relationship, and all of that. Because had I never met him and talked to him, bro, I would still probably be where I'm at, and it would be okay with those people who made that situation like that. Because why? They got me suppressed. Now that I'm not, I get it all the time, and I can almost probably pinpoint who they are. How can I do that now? Because now them same such said people come to me
You
like, man, you
always
working a
gone.
lot.
You always.
You always gone. You working a lot, man. Damn, Jay, you the man, dog. Motherfuckers don't even be realizing they exposing themselves.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, they don't realize that. But at the end of the day, they got to understand I'm a chess player, not a checkers player. I'm a chess player for real, for real. So at the end of the day, don't think you're gonna beat me at a game. Cause guess what? You might win a little battle, but the war is far from over when you fucking with me. Like,
Right.
I'm that type of nigga. I don't let it go. Nah, I'm gonna find a way to beat you. Deontay, no, I'm competitive in that way in at all times. It don't matter what it is. If there's competition, don't get me wrong. I don't compete in this music game because there's no need for all of that. There's enough for everybody. But just for those people who want to play that game, guess what? I'm ready for you. Because you thought it was going to last. You thought it was going to work, and it did. Kudos to you for the 10 years you got out of me. But guess what? I'm only 40.
Right.
I got about 40 more years in me, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, that's why I love people like you. I love people like Deontay and all those others that keep it real like that. Because at the end of the day, for the ones that be in your face smiling, all you can do is just watch these victories now.
Right.
And when I see you, it's still gonna be like, yo, what's up, bro? How you feeling? Glad to see you, man.
But I know
See
how
you
to
next
move
time.
now. I know how to move with you.
I know how to move. And that's what they do. They try to get you emotional and operate off that. It's cool. I get it. I ain't emotional, I'm passionate. It's a difference. And
Yeah.
that's what people take for granted a lot of times. You know what I mean? They take that passion and they turn it around thinking that they can utilize it to hurt you. But when you got it really, really in your heart that you just want to be out here doing good, bro, can't nobody stop that.
Yeah.
That's why this whole movement you got going on, can't nobody stop this. It's gonna happen, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
So
That's for real, for real. Okay.